just you?
Friday at 9:30.
Boring. What's that? Were you singing my praises?
That's fine. I got some helpers.
No? Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, anyone else would like to sign up before I take this? Thank you. Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Batavia Village Council meeting for Monday, February 9th, 2026. Could everybody stand, please, and face towards the flag, please? Mr. Staten, can you please lead us, please? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And thank you to any first responders out there. Thank you to all our active military. If you're active or retired, thank you for serving our country. Okay. Moving right along. Approval of minutes, please. And this is the motion to approve minutes from January 12th, 2026 for the Village of Batavia Council meeting. Second? Second. Was Mike first? Mm-hmm. And who seconded? Tom. Mr. Smith. Sorry. Okay. Financial reports. We won't be having a motion from financial reports. Would you go ahead and explain why, sir?
Absolutely. Good evening, Council and Village of Batavia. 2026 January bank reconciliations are still in progress. I'm about 50% complete with 2025. Thanks to Williamsburg, Lori Pegg, Bill Gilpin, Joel Gilpin, Michael Murray. Each are playing a significant role at getting me up to speed with all my multiple questions.
And I would like to thank them also because they've dedicated some time to you.
Yes.
I just want to say thank you. I still, if you don't mind, I'd still like to send them all out a thank you for helping us. Okay. New council member. So, oh, for the minutes? Oh, no, that's just, no, that's for, we didn't do a motion because we're not motioning anything. That's all right. Thank you, sir. You got to keep, if you see something, just like, hey, tap me on the shoulder. New council member appointment. So at this point in time, council, do you want to have the new council members? That would be Jim Owens, Bill Condo, and Emily Renshaw come up and say something, or would you not? You just want to make a choice? Or what would you like to do? It's up to you. Is that all right with the rest of the council? Two members have said they would like to. Okay. Excellent. So if you don't mind, council, Mr. Owens, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself to the council and to the village? Thank you for being here tonight.
Do I need to turn this on, or is it already on? Oh, it's already on. Good evening, Mayor Runk and Village Council members. Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you tonight. I've met most of you before. My name is Jim Owens. I've lived here in the Batavia area since about 1978 when I moved here with my family, and I've lived either in the township or the village ever since. Over 25 years, I can say I've lived right here within the village in 3 different homes that I've owned throughout the time that I've been here. It's been my home most of my life. I went to Batavia high school where I graduated from, and I've called it home ever since. So that's a deep interest that I have in the future, and that's why I'm here. And hopefully you'll consider my application and interest in serving on the council. My professional background spans more than 25 years in the public and private sectors. I currently work on life safety systems, fire alarms specifically, for several higher education and commercial customers with Johnson Controls. I design those systems and install them in various locations, University of Cincinnati being one of my largest customers here, right here at Batavia campus, so one of the places that I work with. Before that, I served as Claremont County's 911 and Emergency Management Coordinator. I did that for about 10 years. I oversaw the emergency communications in the Department of Emergency Management as well in that role. I oversaw responses to local, state, and federally declared emergencies in that tenure, the largest being probably the floods of 98 when we had those floods there along the Ohio River Basin. I had the pleasure while working in that role to also serve on the executive committee of the Ohio Emergency Management Agency and presented at several national and local conferences on emergency management and emergency communication topics. Beyond things I've done in my professional life, I've always believed in service to the community. I spent 10 years as a volunteer with the Batavia Fire Department when it was just the village and the township together with an agreement and no joint district. I worked as a volunteer, as a part-time paid, full-time paid for a minute, but for 10 years on that department. As a volunteer, the time and training became a little bit much, and I moved on and raised this family and was enjoyed the 10 years that I got to work there. I was a firefighter, made the rank of lieutenant, and also as an EMT on that department, so very proud of the time I spent in that volunteer role. I also supported disaster response as an emergency amateur radio operator for RACES, which is the Radio Amateur Civil Emergency Service. And oddly enough, spent some time at WOBO FM as an entertainer and did a volunteer spot to keep that radio station alive. When I first started, it was associated with CNE High School, and it was there to keep that station going so that the high school kids could still do it. Now it's, of course, all adults, so it's a little different now, but that was a lot of fun. Most recently, I worked with the Harley Owners Group, yes, Harley Davidson, for coordinating a lot of different regional and national events with them. So we planned and coordinated the events that we were having with people from all across the region. I'm looking at this council seat because I care deeply about Batavia. I care about the safety, I care about its growth, I care about the sense of community that I have myself, and I see many people very strongly believing in, and they should. It's a nice community. I want to help ensure that as we move forward, we do so responsibly, transparently, and in a way that reflects the values of the people who live here. If appointed, I hope to focus on several priorities. First, advancing the revitalization of Batavia's downtown district by creating compelling incentives for people to come to the village, to do things, to be as a community. I think we've kind of lost a lot of that, and I think we all struggle to how we can do that to get that back. I'd like to help with that. Second, promoting transparency and accessibility in local government so residents feel like they're not only involved but informed, as they should be. Third, supporting responsible development that respects Batavia's character while encouraging economic opportunity. And finally, fostering community pride by supporting local events, volunteerism, and partnership opportunities that will bring people together. I'd be honored to bring my experience, my commitment, my long-standing connection to this community to the Village Council. Thank you for your time, your consideration, and if you have any questions, I'd be happy to entertain those. I'm really nervous.
I have a question. So you've lived in Batavia 19 years? Is that what it says, or 25 years?
Over 25 years.
Over 25 years. So why now? Why now? Why? I mean, we just had an election. We just had an election. Mm-hmm. We all, we ran, and so why now?
My abilities in my career have changed. I mean, I was as a private sector required a lot of my time, and it was only recently that's given me a little bit more flexibility that I could dedicate. I didn't want to be half in. I wanted to be all in, where I could do and be of value instead of just present. That changed for me, and unfortunately, by the time that changed for me, the application for the Board of Elections timeline had passed. So when the seats came open, it's like, this is my time. I've been called. I want to do something. So glad to take advantage of it. Thanks for the question. No more?
Thank you, Mr. Owens.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you for being here. Mr. Kondo.
Hello, everyone. I'm young to Batavia, so it's been just over a year, and I don't know a ton of people here, so I also don't have a lot of affiliations. I just want what's best for me and my family. So real quick, about me, I did grow up in the area. I graduated from Eastern Brown. I lived kind of all over the state. Columbus, Wilmington, Cincinnati, and then now here, back closer to where I grew up. I am a homeowner, so I have roots here. I have a 3-year-old special needs daughter. I'm a single dad. So the services that we have available to her here, including the school, including fire and EMS, are important to me. Professionally, I'm the engineering manager for an online learning company. I have 25 years experience in technology, starting working with Dragon Internet and InTouch software for dial-up internet services in the 90s. I've served as a director of technology when I worked for Lake Winoka, so that's the Property Owner Association and the Water and Sewer District. I rewrote the entire billing system for them from the ground up. I did the wireless networking for all the different areas to bring those together under one connection and one network. And then while I was in Wilmington, I served on Energize Clinton County, so it's a nonprofit organization. The biggest accomplishment when I served there over my years is we got the Masonic building back and was able to then get it into the hands through the CIC, but then also ultimately in the Port Authority to reclaim that building and to revitalize it. So that's still in the process. It took many years of negotiating with the local Masons groups to be able to acquire that. And then I currently serve and have served for a long number of years on the Technology Advisory Committee for Southern State College. So I'm committed to the local area. Again, I'm newer to Batavia, but I'm here to see my daughter get through school. This is where I want her to go to school. So, and she's got a couple years before she even starts. So I'm here for the next couple decades. So beyond that, why me? Why the village here? I've served in organizations like the Lions Club. I believe in giving back. So there's the altruistic side of things. But also more practically, I want to see the village grow. I'm not anti-growth. I'm also responsible growth. So using the tools available to us in the most appropriate way at the most appropriate time where possible. And then what? What do I hope to accomplish by being part of the council? It sounds like it's not unique to me tonight, but improving communication and transparency. If I don't get out of the house for a couple of days, and I do work from home. I'm in the village during the day, every day. If I don't get out of the house, I don't necessarily know what's going on. It's very hard to keep up to date. I don't drive past the sign. So more needs to happen beyond that. I want to collaborate better with the local partners, the township, the county, the fire, the EMS, and the school, because we got to all work together on this. What may have happened in the past needs to stay in the past, and somebody needs to be better and to say, you know what, the past is the past, let's build the bridge to the future together. And then ultimately, one of the things I took away from working at Lake Winoka is I went around to the state and I benchmarked all the other lake communities in Ohio. There's a Ohio Lake Community Association group. And I went and talked to all their general managers, and I took the good ideas back to Lake Winoka. That's how some of the progress happened in the early 2000s there. And then lastly, I too, as somebody that sits in town all day long, I want a more vibrant downtown. I want more places to walk and eat. I want a reason to go and shop somewhere, Nothing against the businesses we do have. It's fantastic, but we need more. And we need more that you would want to patronize more frequently. That's my spiel, so thank you. Any questions?
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Kondo.
Okay.
God bless you.
No?
Oh, you have a question? I'm sorry, Randy.
Sorry, I was.
Does anybody have a question? Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Emily Renshaw. Thank you for being here.
Good evening, Council and Mayor Runk. My name is Emily Renshaw, and I am not originally from Batavia. I born and raised in Milford, Ohio. Graduated from there, went to Eastern Kentucky for school, and lo and behold, I'm back in the Ohio Valley. I've been in Batavia about 11 years now. I agree with almost everything that was said prior to me coming up to this podium. I live here. I also work just up the road by the airport at a company called Kaiser & Blair. And Kaiser & Blair is responsible for promotional products. So when you think of promotional product, you think, ooh, freebie. Who doesn't love a free thing, right? So that's kind of how I got into that industry. And I take that with me because I am a natural people pleaser. I love to be that go-to person for people. I like to listen. I like to problem solve and get the job done at the end of the day. Whether that's, an order for an event or something that could be more important. For our committee at work, we have the party planning committee. We're given a task, we plan, we problem solve, and we execute it. And that's kind of how I see the role here for the council. Your approach with problems that you see are evident, that you also listen to from the fellow villagers, and you brainstorm, come up with resolutions, and we all win at the end of the day. Hopefully that's the goal, right? So that's a little bit about me. I am strong in my faith in God and community and culture, and I think that Batavia needs more of a culture feel. We need, like he said previously, more places downtown to just stroll along, like more of an old Milford view. Nowadays, you can walk down the street and they have multiple breweries, they have multiple little shops you can go into. I would love to be able to say, hey guys, come down to Batavia. Let's, go to the Bean and Brew, get pizza, and walk down the lane to a little shop. Somewhere we can communicate with each other and just, for lack of better words, hang out and enjoy the county seat. It's important that we're at the county seat, and we need to have a little bit more pride in representing the county. So that's all I have.
Thank you. Any questions?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so very much.
You're welcome.
And again, everybody that, to the three who just came in tonight, I just want to say thank you for being here tonight. Council, do you want to go ahead?
I have a motion to appoint.
Do we have a second? Anyone else that wants to make a, okay? Do we do by roll? Go. Okay, by roll, please. And that would be Mrs. Agger. Yes. Mr. Gardner.
Yes.
Mr. Dorsey.
Yes.
Mr. Smith.
Yes.
Mr. Staten.
Yes.
Okay. And again, to the two, Mr. Kondo and Mrs. Renshaw, I just want to say thank you so very much for being here. I hope you keep coming in and seeing us as a village. It's very, very important. And if there's a committee that you would like to be on, there's a few committees around here that we always need help with that. Both of you. Thank you so very much. Mr. Owens, if you'd like to step up, step right over here, please. Does anybody want to take a picture? Again, Mr. Owens, welcome to the Batavia Village Council. Okay. Public comment. At this point, just want to make sure he's ready. Public comment, people wishing to make comments, we're limited to 3 minutes. We have three people that have signed up. Where's the list, please? Oh, there it is. Mr. Gallagher, Brian Weinstedt, and Mr. Albright. Just to let you know, at the end here today, I'm just going to talk a little bit about planning. During the legislative part, we're just going to do it 3 minutes. But what I'd like to do is open it up. Thank you. Thank you so very much. We have a planning, if that's all right with the council, just to talk about this. I'd like to have a planning session with people involved, with people that can come out. And that would be a place where you can talk, well, whatever the council says, in the way of you can talk as long as you want. Well, as long as, you don't repeating, that all. But I would just like to tell you that so it's not limited to 3 minutes at that point, because that will be more of a planning session and this is a legislative. So you'll be able to speak out just like here, everything. So I just wanted to make sure you knew that. Mr. Gallagher, thank you, sir, for standing there.
Chuck Gallagher, Claremont County Airport. I'd like to talk tonight about the annexation of the property up by the airport. I'm going to kindly ask the council members, I think we need to deny this, and I'll let you know why. But this is the runway storage in the Beach Brother property. The Beach Brother property is located in the runway protection zone, the immediate safety area at the airport. Reason number one, runway storage owes $33,000 in back taxes. Mr. Geist told us they were going to pay. 10,000 plus is delinquent. Nothing's been paid since 2023. I believe the village paid the lawyer fees for this annexation process. That's what we were told. Secondly, this was pushed through as a type 2 annexation. If everybody is aware of the type 2 annexation, but it takes the county commissioners and the township out of the loop. At the commissioners meeting, one commissioner voted no. The second commissioner only voted yes, and she made it very clear that she was not approving this, but she only voted yes because she had no choice. And I think we need to work together as a team and not take advantage of the type 2 annexations. So, and then we were told earlier that there's no development plans. I've got an email from the owner here. They're going to build 200,000 square foot plus storage facilities. Some of them are going to be 11 foot tall. Some of them are going to be 40 foot tall. And they've done the determination of hazard to air navigation with the FAA. And I just want to read this real quick here. So this was for the 12 foot tall buildings. It's going to be halfway in the field, if you're familiar with the area, halfway within the runway protection zone. And the FAA says, while the structure does not constitute a hazard to air navigation, it would be located within the runway protection zone of I-69 Airport, runway 422. Structures which will result in the congregation of people within an RPZ are strongly discouraged in the interest of protecting people and property on the ground. In cases where the airport owner, being the county commissioners, can control the use of the property, such structures are prohibited and wouldn't be allowed. In cases where the airport owner exercises no such control, advisory recommendations are issued to inform the sponsor of the inadvisability of the project from the standpoint of safety to personnel and property. And then lastly, January 2nd of this year, one of my flight school planes was taken off to the north. It had a partial power failure and had to put it down in the field. This is the field on the other end of the runway. Flight instructor, student pilot, walk out of the airplane, not a scratch. Airplane, not a scratch. We tow it back to the barn, figure out why the engine wasn't running, and it's flying the next day. Had this happened on the other end of the runway, this would have been in the middle of a bunch of storage buildings, and nobody would have been walking away. So in a nutshell, this is a bad idea to have different jurisdictions within the airport environment. And I don't think we should be annexing this property to the village. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gallagher. Brian?
Chip, you didn't even start the timer until he's 2 minutes in. That's unfair.
That was only for you, sir.
I want to welcome everybody before you start the timer. Welcome.
Hurry, go.
What? Yeah, whoa. I got 10 seconds. Welcome to the new council members elected. Hopefully you enjoy your time. Mr. Mayor, you've got a devilishly handsome set of council members up there. Good job, good job.
Thank you, sir.
Anyway,
Thanks, sir.
piggybacking off of what Chuck had to say about the annexations, we had talked about this at a previous meeting. And I feel like it's important to note that it's not just the airport residents, it's the Federal Aviation Administration. These are people that know what they're doing. And Chuck, I mean, I didn't know he's going to hold those pictures up, but that is a clear example. So when you guys did pass it, not you, but previous members, Mr. Geis mentioned that it doesn't mean that you guys have to approve that annexation. The county commissioners were forced to approve it. Then it comes back to you, so you don't have to. That was a quote from Mr. Geis. Moving on to the CRA thing you have on the agenda here. I'd like to pull in Mount Orab. Certainly you guys have more than likely seen what is going out there in relations to the CRA and the lack of transparency and NDAs. So that is applies here with the airport views, Sugar Ridge, whatever they're calling it here. And one of the problems I see is that they were elected by the people that are attending the meetings. And then those people who were elected to be their voice are now telling those people, we can't tell you. That just doesn't sit right. Now, I don't know anything about NDAs here in the village, but I think the reason that Mount Orab is getting highlighted is because of what has been happening down here. People are informed of how annexations have been happening and how developers come into communities and take over. And it's been pretty obvious over the last year and a half that both village residents and township residents don't like it. That's why 4 new members are sitting up there and a couple of them bailed. We don't like it, whether it's village or the township. But I also want, looking on Facebook and kind of coming familiar with Mount Orab, there were comments about calls to their council to rescind every ordinance that they feel like is unlawful. And I want to draw your attention back to what Mr. Gibson did in a January meeting, where he rescinded an ordinance that approved the zoning by Bauman Development. Immediately after, he passed the same ordinance with the exact same verbiage, and then they passed it on emergency, which got, you guys were able to pass that without a referendum to be voted on and tied to. I can't think of any other reason why they would do that other than to shut us up, for lack of better terms. It's almost like an official NDA. We don't care about your voice, we'll use an emergency vote. There's things specifically tied to that as to why he wanted it. It was all subjective reasons as to why he wanted to pass it on an emergency vote, but I know I'm out of time. I just have 2 questions to end. Did Ken Geis send NDAs to the Central Joint Fire District when it came time to negotiate how they were going to be funded from the village? And number 2, I challenge the entire council, whether you're new or have been here, rescind all ordinance related to the Bauman Road Sugar Ridge development. And if you do that, and the public has its voice and they cast their vote whenever that could happen, and the voters say, we want it, you'll never hear me complain again. I may not agree with a single one of their decisions or people on the side that want it, but if you allow the voice of the people to guide you, I have no choice but to support it, and I would be fine with that. So that's a challenge, is to rescind every ordinance tied to it, start over. And the reason I do that, and the reason we can't figure out why it is just unanimous approval for all these ordinances, I'll draw your attention to the campaign donations to John Waite and Jason Gibson. Jeff Hayes or Kevin R. Keys, the owner of CKN Development, who Jeff Hayes is directly tied to, deposited $12,500 into Jason Gibson, the guy I disagreed with the most, and John Waite. John Waite was a bad investment because he didn't get elected, but Gibson was there. He had a vote. He had a voice. He was the one that brought that ordinance up to get rid of our voices tied to a referendum, and then took it away by passing it on an emergency. So the answer, I believe, is in this campaign donation, because Gibson always said to us he was elected to grow the village, which is fine. But then we all found out how he planned on growing it. We had a problem with it. He shut us up, and then he took money, $25,000 to the village. I have no idea how much it costs you guys to run for village council. I can't in a million years think that you spent $12,500, and he dropped 25 grand here. And I'll tell you the thing, out of all the times I've spoke in the meetings I've been to, the thing that pissed me off the most was the last meeting I attended, when his final development plan, for whichever name he came up with, it was approved, and he said thank you. He said thank you. To me, that thank you represented, screw all of you. We know you don't want it. You have voiced your opinion well over a year. You filed a referendum. You voted in November in the township and the village. Thank you. And I wonder, what was he thanking him for? More than likely a $25,000 investment. And until we are provided the reason as to why the previous council thought all of this was a great idea, we're not going to let up at all. We will get our answers, and we will stop it. And that doesn't mean we will stop any development. We're going to stop a development that we've made abundantly clear the majority doesn't want. And that was not offensive to any of the new ones. I know you guys just came in and didn't have anything to do with it, but we're not going to let up because I think we have a lot of good points, and we know that Batavia can be the talk of the town. We just have to do it right. And that's all, I think that's all we ask, all of us that have spoken out against it for the last year and a half. We just want it to be right. And that is subjective to us, but when the voters vote and their voice is heard, we have no choice to support it, and that's what America's about. Thanks for letting me go over, Chip.
Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Mr. Albright.
Bill Albright, Marby Lane. I'm still, and all you guys put him in there. I ask you the same thing. Why now? Why him? Days into it. There's 3 people here. One of them other people. You just rerun him. I thought the 4 of you ran on, we're going to make changes. We're going to clean house. No more tax abatements. Annexations. We're still the same stuff. You're rerunning him. The people that left quit, lost an election. He wanted that job, he should have ran an election, just like you said. Why now? You guys had a preordained deal with him because your very first meeting, dude. Very first meeting. First thing. You're going to talk, say something.
One of the reasons, I thought we should put Steve back here, because I thought we needed some continuity. I don't think, nobody ever said that every single person was going to be brand new.
Fair enough. That ain't changed. That ain't cleaning house, though.
Cleaning house doesn't mean get rid of everybody, in my opinion.
Okay. You're going to be stuck with these same people. Business as usual. 2 teachers, 140 homes last meeting. I just come from the fire department meeting. A couple of you were there. The housing is increasing like crazy. That drives that cost of that fire department up. Them cars they add adds to that response time. It's business as usual, people. Ain't nothing changed in my book. Nothing's changed. Talking about petitions. And don't stop with Bauman Development up there. You got piles of dirt down there in your 6th story. Don't look nothing. You want to preserve the feel of this town? 6-story building down there? I'd be doing everything I could, talking to anybody except the village bot lawyer there that works for himself. He don't help you guys guide nothing because he'll let you do what you want because that's more money for him. You're all for new. Well, all of you are new except for him. How many homes is enough for your village? Your fire department can't handle it. The levy failed. School can't handle it. They'll be next. 140 homes went in one of the worst spots in your village, right on your main street. Right on that 4-lane highway you guys got for a main street now. How many homes is enough? I've asked the township. I've asked the old people. Mayor, how many homes is enough for your village? Blank stares. It says a lot.
Things that was done by the previous council. It's not things that we can just stop like that, because
You
if
could have
we
stopped
stop
140 more homes. Last meeting.
the last meeting,
Could have said no.
it was already through there and it would have cost the village in a lawsuit. A lot of the things that
Congratulations, you got 140 more homes.
that they've done in the past has put us in situations to where that if we act in a different way from it and try to squash it, we're going to end up in lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit. So we can only honor with what they had to do, not because we want to, it's because we have to by law. It's not that we're not sitting up here saying anything, giving you a blank stare. It's because we can't say much about it because we'll end up in a lawsuit. So we'll answer what we can. We are changing things. We are doing things behind the scenes. We're trying to move things forward in a positive direction. It's 2 months. We've got things going in a positive direction. We're going to continue to go that way.
And Bill, I think just to pipe in here, with the last council, that was going to be tax abated, and it was not tax abated. That 140 homes is not tax abated.
Them tax abatements are borderline criminal, dude. That's common sense.
Well, I'm just telling you, we made change. We changed. We made that as best we could for our community. The fire department's getting their money, the school's getting their money. That's the best situation when there's growth happening that we can't stop.
They got 140 more homes,
We do.
280 more cars right down that intersection, daily drivers.
And we have some work to do to make that intersection better. Absolutely. We agree with you. We actually,
Worth getting.
we know Main Street's gonna be a mess. We have things we gotta take care of.
When you put the right guy in a job, you get $50,000 of your village money and a grant to freaking offices down there. That really draw people to your Main Street. I'd repeal that $50,000. That's robbery right there. Bean and Brew paying their loan. I saw it's for sale. Somebody mentioned Bean and Brew. They'd love to have a place to go and sit down. I think that place is for sale. That's going to be your village-owned bar and grill here soon. They making the payments? I can FOIA request it. I mean, I'd love to know. $200,000 interest-free loan, public funds. You four working on that? Everything's going to be the last council. We're going to do business as usual. What's that? You might see the village dissolve is what you might see. That's what the old council said too.
Thank you, hold on. Thank you, Mr. Albright. Go ahead, sir. You can stand up.
vote on whatever those discussions are, like, let's say we're overwhelmingly convincing and they side with us, how do you see that flowing, or have you not figured that out yet?
And I don't mean to take up your time, but when I first got on council, actually, when my wife was on council, she actually came up with the idea of having a planning session for a second meeting. Planning session, no legislation at all. Oh, Mr. Staten? Thank you, sir. So, well, the whole thing, I didn't hear that. No, the whole thing about a planning session is no legislation. We're not supposed to do anything, nothing, but to listen to, these people never really have time to talk aside from here. I think that gives them the ability to get ready for the next meeting, to know what the people are thinking, and say, hey, and you're going to be allowed to stand up and talk, just like you are now, but more time. Of course, you always take 5 more minutes. Oh, absolutely. As long as it's stated. It's a public meeting.
So to answer the question, lawyer word, I would say they're not able to hold a meeting, but they can attend town halls, they can attend conferences, they can go fact finding. The issue becomes if there's decision making taking place. So council can attend, if council were all at a football game, they were there. They sit together, they were there. If council goes to a meeting though where the citizens are communicating, they're there. Obviously, you wouldn't want to be at that meeting if it's listed as a fact finding or a town hall or again a public session where, let's say somebody said, I want a new stop sign. I think that's a great idea. All in favor?
No.
Yeah, no all in favors. But hopefully if you have a meeting like that, the outgrowth is people come back to, and again, at this point, I'm now saying hopefully we're right on the edge of me saying political things, but you would hope that after that you come back to a formal meeting where decision-making, resolutions, votings, motions take place. But you can't have more than a quorum at fact-finding.
I just wanted to differentiate between the typical planning meetings that you guys have versus your idea and how they differ is all I was asking.
Terminology is this planning and
zoning separate from, so these,
It would not be a committee meeting, would be my recommendation. Again, I would call it a town hall.
Okay.
But it's a public input session. Again, there can be no decision making.
But I think the important thing, and what I've always wanted to see, and I know I sat here sometimes not saying anything, but I really wanted to see the council grow. And I really wanted to see the council speak a lot more. And I think the ability of giving the public to speak to them a lot more, again, this is legislative. Let us do our legislative part for the one time in a month, and then that'll open up to you, Brian, to have your 6 minutes. Just kidding. But again, that opens it up. And depending on how the council wants to do it, we can meet every 3 months. I think, Mr. Gardner, you had a
like
idea.
every other month, we would hold a second town hall meeting to where we could discuss things like with the fire department, but not making decisions. Then we can get the input from the public as well and interact with our residents and get their input so we are making a well-informed decision, not a one-sided decision.
Chris, I have a question. Can the council members also give their opinions or, come in and say, hey, I think Batavia really should consider building a park? And that way we can communicate with each other in that without taking a vote on it. Just say, you know, like I may have a set of things that I would like to see in Batavia. Other council members, I'm sure everybody's got their own wants.
Probably. I will prepare some basic guidelines. I think it's fair to say council comes and says, you know, again, using stop signs as an example, I think a stop sign's a great idea. Clearly, if there's no motion, no voting taking place, it's not, again, decision-making. So even if everyone else who's in the room, and by the way, at a meeting like that, not all of council has to attend, but so let's just say though that 4 members of council were to say, stop sign, great idea. Doesn't mean it's decision-making. And until a formal resolution / motion has been made, you don't know that somebody's going to say, I want that stop sign to be on the east corner, the west corner. So that there are still additional matters to be considered before a vote takes place. But the brief answer is yes. Again, there would be no paperwork, which is a bureaucrat's nightmare.
Thank you so very much for your attention again. And thank you, council. Let me see. Police Department, Chief Williams.
Mayor and council, this is the January 2026 report. I'd like to start off by saying the Batavia Police Department would like to thank Officer Megan Easterday for her dedication and service to the police department and the residents of the village of Batavia. Officer Easterday has decided to move from the area, and while she's moving, she decided to take another job with another agency. The police department is currently conducting interviews to fill Officer Easterday's position, and as we move through those interviews, we will be selecting 1 or 2 to bring to the council for decision-making for hiring. During a finance meeting, we spoke to the finance committee and requested the council allow me to purchase new patrol vehicles. Those vehicles will replace vehicles currently that we have that have high miles and one that is no longer currently working. Just to kind of give you some numbers, one vehicle would cost $43,675. If we purchase 2 vehicles, that would come to $87,350. To have those vehicles upfitted, that would cost $41,452. So I am asking council to allow me to make those purchases and move forward with the purchases of new vehicles. As far as the numbers for the month, we had 44 traffic stops, 10 citations, 30 written warnings. We had 8 crashes, 5 arrests. We have 12 incident reports, 11 offense reports, and 16 public records requests. Does council have any questions for me?
Mr. Mayor. I'd just like to add on there that Chief Williams, when he did come there to the finance meeting, he was only asking for 1, but through discussion and seeing the depleted cruisers that we have, we made the recommendation to him to check out the price for 2 of them, and we are recommending to council that we purchase those vehicles. Give him the permission to do that.
Thank you, sir.
Do you want to make a motion for that?
And I'll make a motion for that.
I just want to say one thing really quick, just to make sure that you... So even if we order those vehicles now, and I just want to make this people aware of how long this takes, this is why too, right?
Even if we order them now, we may not see the vehicles until the end of the year, possibly even the beginning of next year, just depending on how many vehicles are being pushed out. So, yes, it's going to take a little bit of time for we actually to get the vehicles, for them to come in.
So there's a motion on the floor to purchase 2 new vehicles for the Batavia Police Department. Do I have a second? Second. It was by Randy. And we have to do that by motion, don't we? By roll, please, Mrs. Zager. I'm sorry, Mr. Owens? I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
We didn't hear. You said yes.
Mrs. Zager?
Yes.
Mr. Gardner? Yes. Mr. Dorsey?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Staton?
Yes.
Okay, motion's passed.
Thank you, council.
Thank you,
Anybody have
Chief.
any questions for me?
Any other?
Chief, if I may, historically, the village has accepted resignations of officers. Do you need the village to accept a resignation?
Yes.
If someone would make a motion to accept the resignation.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the resignation.
Easter Day, yes.
There's a recommendation on the floor for the. Okay, thank you, sir. So that's all in favor? Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, Chief.
Any additional questions?
Any other questions, Chief?
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Chip? Let's see. No, Mr. Sorry, did I break this up? That is you. Go ahead, Solicitor.
Thank you, Mayor. In the last month, my office assisted the village with personnel issues as requested by members of the administration and council. We addressed various nuisance and zoning issues. I would note that the CRT property, the judge did set a new hearing date on that, and without going into too much detail, would also note that a quick drive by the property today reflected 19 cars in front of the property, which is a record for 2026, but I think only ties 2025. I've also assisted and responded to questions as asked by the interim administrator with respect to developmental issues. I do have on my agenda that if the village council has any additional questions concerning pending litigation, pending imminent litigation, I would ask that we go to executive session so we maintain attorney-client privilege. And just for purpose of the record, in reviewing our minutes for this meeting, it says request to go to executive session, and at the end it says school funding. It is not a request to go to executive session for school funding. That appears to be just the next line down that has carried up into the request for executive session. The request is to go on to discuss pending and imminent litigation unrelated to school funding, which is a separate topic that I've had actually limited, if actually none in the last month.
Executive session.
If we could.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to go into executive session.
Pursuant to Ohio Revised Code 121.22 G3 to meet with counsel regarding pending and imminent litigation.
Do I have a second? Second. Was it Mr. Smith? And then by roll, please. And that would be Mr. Owens?
Yay.
Mrs. Sager? Yes. Randy?
Yes.
Mr. Gardner?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Staton?
Yes.
Okay, time is 7:57. Will be, hopefully it won't take us that long. Thank you so very much for your patience.
some like mood music up here.
Council, are you ready to come back in session? Yes, sir. Motion to come back into regular session?
Motion to come back in regular session.
Second? By roll. Mr. Owens?
Yes.
Mrs. Zager?
Yes.
Randy?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Mr. Gardner, sorry. Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Staten?
Yes.
Okay, we're back in regular session at 8:20. Thank you for your patience, everyone.
Okay. Thank you, and that was it for me for the month.
Thanks, sir. Village Administrator. Chip?
Good evening. I do have an update on the River Point Apartments. After the agenda was submitted last week, I did talk to Sonny again. He does have all the dirt lined up, and they're ready to start with that. However, the water department is making them do a relocate on the water main, and they can't do that until the ground thaws and the snow melts. So they're anticipating that to be done sometime in March, and they hope to finally start with the development of that at the end of March and early April. Nothing new on the Harvest Meadow Apartments. Streamside rental properties, they are still awaiting bids for construction. They're talking about sometime this summer for that. Casey's, I did hear back from them. They plan on to start the project on April 20th, so that's going to be happening. Haven't heard back from the county for a status on when we'll get the grant for the sidewalk down Foundry Avenue, so I'm still awaiting that information. Harold Road intersection at 32, we're just now waiting for the construction timelines from ODOT. We had our first America 250 meeting with the township. It went really well. We got an initial game plan started and some tasks have been assigned. We're looking at Friday, July 3rd for that event. And the next committee meeting is scheduled for 2/18/26 here at the village offices. County Commissioners approved the Type 2 annexation for beaches, tree service, and runway storage, and we've got that resolution to take a look at on that for the agenda. Rubel sign, they're waiting for the permits to begin the construction for the sign by Norton. Public Works did a great job on the snow removal, as always. A lot of compliments from the public on that. They are also looking to purchase a new truck. The total for that is about $230,000, and I'll need a motion from council to enter into the agreements to purchase that vehicle for them.
Do
you want to?
Do you want me to go ahead?
I'll make the motion with the little discussion with it. This was brought up at finance, and we discussed it at finance. Mr. Smith already has in his budget the money to pay for that, correct? So it is our recommendation from finance for them to purchase that.
We do have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second, please?
Second. Hey, I wanted to make an additional comment to that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Hey, and once again, if we ordered that now, it's not going to be here. It would be here for next winter, right? And so if we don't get the ball rolling on it, we're not going to have it.
Wayne?
Okay. All in favor on the motions presented?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. And I just wanted to say, again, thank you to the Finance Committee for all your due diligence you've been doing at your committees. I just want to say thank you. Okay.
Okay,
Chip,
I've also
go
had
ahead.
a chance to speak to Maddox Industrial Transformers, who's moving into the old firehouse. They are trying to finish up the remodel of that and also the paving of the parking lot. They plan on hopefully moving their offices up from the old Ford plant area down to that office sometime in March. Once they get moved in there, they'll start on the building on the corner to start remodeling that for other offices for their people. They've also indicated that they are interested in helping revitalize Main Street, and they are looking for additional properties to possibly purchase for new businesses in the downtown area. They had originally looked at the old Oddfellows building, I believe it is. However, they discovered that there appears to be a lot of internal reconstruction that needs to be done, and so they've decided, I think, to pass on that, but they are still looking for other properties. We're required every year to have a community reinvestment area annual meeting, so I'll be looking to schedule that in March because it has to be submitted back to the state by the end of March. The Armory AV system, I think you can tell there's been a little bit of improvement in the quality of the sound. Still have a couple of things to do as far as the room programming. I finally found an AV company that can actually rework the control system, so that's the last step. They're scheduled to come out in March, beginning of March, to do that. Typical IT stuff, we're getting ready to add the Public Works building into the network so we can extend services from this facility over to that facility, and also use that site as an on-site backup or off-site backup for this site. We can also extend our CCTV and our access control to that building as well. Fire Board, actually, Mr. Gardner and I met with Karen Schwartz and Randy Perry this afternoon to start discussions on what the possibility of the new fire department arrangement is going to be. So we've started that conversation off. As far as zoning goes, we've got a total of 19 permits in so far this year. Streamside, we've got 9 new home permits there. Harvest Meadows, 5. Still currently working on about 9 violations, 4 in the court process. As far as future zoning cases, the Bunnell Hill development up on Harold Road, they are hoping to submit a final development plan for that in the beginning of, for our April meeting. And that's all I have for my report.
Hey, I wanted to make a comment about the America 250 meeting with the township and just how nice it was. Right, it was a great. It was commented on by the township representatives there. That they wouldn't have had this meeting 6 months ago, and it was just a really positive meeting that we had with them. And I think that's if you want to point to something positive, happening already, that was something that wouldn't have happened 6 months ago. So it was really good, and look forward to working with them a lot more.
Yeah,
Go ahead, sir.
Could you explain what the Community Reinvestment Area meeting, the annual meeting actually is and what it entails?
Yeah, we're required by the Ohio Revised Code, if we have a CRA area, that we are required to report annually to them of any new additions to the CRA, and that's pretty much what it is.
And you have to forgive me, the CRA meeting, can't they saddle in front of the council meeting?
I'm sorry, what?
Can't that be in front of the council, in front of the councilman, like the CIC meetings?
We could have it before the council meeting.
Correct.
Is that what you're talking
That's
about?
what I'm asking.
Yeah, we could schedule it that way.
Okay. All right. So, council, did you understand that? So, a lot of times what happens, like CIC and or the CRA, we'll just have that meeting before the regular scheduled council meeting. So it's probably about an hour, sir, typically? Yeah. 30 minutes? So it's about 30 minutes before. So this would be a little, and we would change it on our sign and go out onto our, because it's public can come and listen.
Yeah, Mayor, we will need some housekeeping on that. Kathy Turner was previously on that.
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Smith was an at-large member, but now he's on council. So we have a couple of replacements to.
We still need an at-large then?
Yes, we'll need another at-large and somebody from, yeah.
Thank you. There's a couple. Okay. Thank you. Any other questions? Administrator? Okay, zoning. Let's see, we'll go back here. The legislation. Oh, go ahead. We'll go ahead and do the legislation. Ordinance 1560, or 26. Yes, sir.
I make a motion to table this
Okay.
till our next council meeting.
Do you have a second?
Yeah, do we have a?
I'll second it.
Okay. And I'll need that on a roll too. Mr. Owens?
Yes.
Mrs. Zager?
Yes.
Randy?
Yes.
Mr. Gardner?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Staton?
Yes.
Okay, that, that ordinance has been tabled. Yes, sir.
So, sorry, it's new at PM. So it has to be transmitted by the county commissioners within 60, and then within 120, administrative action has to be taken. If it's not taken, we'll just,
It's a dead issue.
the village has 120 days to take action.
So we have also ordinance 155825 for adoption of 2026 full appropriation amended budget. This is a first reading. There's no motion needed on that.
I'd like to make an amendment to it or a change to it.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Section 7 currently reads, "And the village clerk, I hereby authorized to draw warrants on the village." I've recommended it change to the village clerk is hereby authorized to draw warrants on the village treasury.
And as a first reading, that change can be made. I would also note, for purpose of changes, Section 8 references that it was being passed as an emergency, and this is just a first reading, so it's not an emergency. It can remain in there up and through the commencement of the third reading, at which point that should be removed if we're not going to pass as an emergency. So he's just making amendments to the language. It's first reading. There'll be a reading of it at the next regular meeting and one meeting thereafter.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Staton, too, for your help. Other issues, considerations concerning the village council? This is
Yes.
for you. Go ahead, sir.
I'd like to move that the council adopt the following resolution. I believe since we've had a couple of resolutions during this meeting that the number probably changes to 354-26, directing the Planning and Zoning Committee to review the zoning code pertaining to planned unit developments. Planning and zoning should develop a clear definition of major and minor changes as defined in the code with respect to planned unit development. The planned unit development is currently defined in the code as follows. Planned unit developments, or PUDs, shall mean large-scale, unified land development which permits a mixture of land uses, clustering of residential units, and common recreation open spaces through flexible regulations which encourage creative design to preserve the natural features, foliage, and other characteristics of the site. Because planned unit developments have such a great and lasting impact on the village as a whole and our neighboring communities, and may place potential burdens on services, fire, street, and safety, as well as schools and transportation infrastructure, it is recommended that final and/or major changes to the PUDs, regulating or development plan, which is a term that's in the code, must be presented to the full council with planning and zoning recommendations and/or their agreed-upon changes with the developer. Planning and zoning will review and amend the current code to include a definition of major and minor changes with respect to PUDs. It's further recommended that any changes to infrastructure, roads, buildings, utilities, etc., or density increases or decreases must be classified as major changes and come to council. Planning and zoning should report to council within 60 days the proposed changes to the code. I also attached a flow chart of our existing flow chart, and as you see that all this does is add one more step to it, where village council becomes the final decision maker on the matter and not planning and zoning as it currently is.
I have a motion on the floor.
I'll make a motion to adopt resolution, I don't believe it's gonna end in 26.
35426.
Second. I didn't hear somebody.
Oh, you're good. You're good. Oh, you're fine. That's second by Mr. Gardner. By roll, Mr. Owens,
Abstain.
Mrs. Agar,
Yes.
Mr. Dorsey,
Yes.
Mr. Gardner,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Staten.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. Anything else from the, thank you, Steve. Anything else from the council? Anything, Mr. Dorsey? Good.
Mic works. Oh, there it is. I just like to, it was brought up in one of the interviews or one of the, talking about how I can't find anything on the website. I think that's still a concern of mine is getting that updated, maybe a refresh or something, but I think it would help the community know what's going on more if we took some time to update that, and I don't know. I don't know what else to say about that.
And again, and would I like to hear if you, what types of updates you want? Please get together with Chip, our administrator. Just go over what you're thinking, and if you want to bring it back to the council, which is how usually things are working now.
Yeah.
So if you want to do that, and we can plan on that, or we can talk about it on our planning session.
Yeah, I think the planning would be good, but I'd like to share one that
That's
I heard from the public quite a bit last year, was the fact that there was not a mechanism to email council members on the website. If our village email addresses could be posted on the page that lists the council members and their terms.
Yeah, I can make that happen. That's an easy change.
Mr. Smith just says something, so I had to say that again, about a link, which is very smart how to do it. You just get to the link and you can go to your bio and you can do all kinds of things. That's all right, sir. Go ahead, sir. I will do that here in a minute. I will do that. Any other questions from the council? Okay. Not hearing any. So this is my part. I just want to, hold on just a second. Just wanted to make sure. I just wanted to make sure that Public Works was thanked from the last snowstorm that came through here, and the other that dumped another 2 inches right after that one, and the ice. Thank you so very much to them for all their hard work, and also to the police department helping out with everything. And then I did receive a letter from the schools. If you could just bear with me a moment. Let me read this. It says, "Detention to Mayor Runk, Administration, Chief Williams, and Council. I want to bring this to the attention to the grateful and how grateful our community is, and to our schools. Hard to have a Sergeant Warner as a part of it. Too few people take the time to stop and thank someone. Always take the time to thank someone. That's what I always try to do. For the job well done. They quickly pointed out a few flaws, so I'm writing you with a brief letter to thank him. He recently handled several issues involving my family members, both here and in Batavia at the school. He was very professional and kind. He took the time and patiently explained all the process and repeatedly when I didn't understand how the law worked and what my options were. My friends, colleagues, and this is of the school, my friends, colleagues, I have watched Sergeant Warner over the past few years devote a full focus on helping people in our wonderful village and the surrounding areas in the true role of a police officer in the way they should be. Again, we are very grateful to him and all the other officers who serve the village of Batavia. Sincerely, Donna, and I can't read the last name, I apologize. I'd like to take a time to find out who she is so I can send a letter back, and to the entire village crew. So I especially wanted to read that. A lot of times we do have negative things that come to the village, and I just wanted to read this positive, something positive to the village council. And again, my salute to our chief and Sergeant Warner and all the officers who represent us every day. Thank you for protecting us. Anything else you want to say, council, about that? Okay. And I'll try to find out this person's name, try to get another letter out to them and say thank you. I also just want to do a shout out to Officer Easterday. I've known her since she was a child, and she's becoming an officer was something that it was such a neat process and to see her go. I know people have to go because there are reasons. It's hard to let them go, but I just want to say God bless her and her success at her next stage of her life. Any comments or questions from the council to me? Yes, sir.
We are not going to have this second, we have no need to have this second meeting, right?
No, sir.
And
You mean this month?
this month.
Yeah, I was thinking next month. You want to do it,
Yeah,
next?
No, I'm saying we want to do away with the second meeting for sure. We haven't.
This month? Yes. If that's all right with everyone else, I just want to, because then we'll,
Will that be our work session?
that would be next month.
Next month.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's all I want.
Thank you, sir. So committee meetings and reports. Tuesday, February 17th at 7 p.m. is our next planning and zoning meeting. Thursday, February 19th, 4:30 p.m. is a next finance meeting, if needed. And then Monday, February 23rd, 7 p.m. is the second regular meeting, or second meeting, but that's been canceled, and that'll be placed on a sign too. And I think that's it. Any other questions or comments from the?
The fire board meets March 16th at 5.
March 16th,
You may have to put that on the
5
board.
p.m.
Yes.
Mr. Staten?
Yes, as with respect to the planning and zoning meeting,
Yes, sir.
it will be on, like it has on here, on February 17th at 7 p.m. Ms. Sagar and I have asked Mr. Gallagher to attend because he's the county contact for the overlay section of the airport in that area, and to address the committee with information related to that and the future plans and the current map and the future map that has not been approved yet, correct?
Sir, do you want me to send out a note to that? Or is that something you want me to remember, or? Okay, just want to make sure. No, I just want to make sure, because if I need to, I'll send you a note as a
It's
reminder.
just it was not on the sign, and
Yeah,
Mr. Gallagher pointed that out.
Hey, in my life, I have to do all kinds of things to remember, so. Okay, any other questions, comments from the council? There is a motion on the floor for adjournment from Mr. Gardner. Do I have a second?
Everybody but Mike?
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you so very much for your patience, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, council, for everything you do every day, and for the departments, thank you so very much for everything you do. God bless you.